Hello everybody, welcome back, and a very special welcome to anyone joining us for the first time. And we're going to sing Jesus Shall Reign Where'er the Sun, but probably not to the tune you're thinking of. First of all, please make sure you're watching the right video. There is one each for singers, soprano, alto, tenor and bass, and a separate one for all the instrument players. This one is for alto singers, and if that's not what you are, please go back to the playlist and select the right one. Jesus Shall Reign is of course one of Isaac Watts' greatest hymns, and it's still sung a lot these days. It was actually something that he conceived as a metrical version of Psalm 72, but Isaac allowed himself a very free hand indeed, and these days we tend to think of it as a hymn. Now this is a very good example of a situation where a hymn is quite strongly associated with one particular tune, and yet out there, back almost 200 years, there is a fantastic tune which is even more suitable, and that's what we're going to do now. This hymn tune, Gibraltar by W.J. White, about whom all we know is that he came from St Albans, is one of the most exuberant and joyful hymn tunes I know, full of excitement, flourish, one could even say playfulness. It's got a fuguing section and a great finish. If you don't know it already, once you've got it into your head, I'm sure you'll love it. Now, before we start preparing this, here's some guidance on how to record yourself. If you're very familiar with all this, please feel free to skip forward in this video to the point shown on the screen and pick up after I've given this advice to those who are a bit newer to this process. So, firstly, again, just make sure you're watching the right video. This video will play the music and also a guide track for you to sing along to, with a click track to help you keep in time. Now, if you prefer to sing off a printed score, or if you're a musician who needs a transposed or an extracted part, all of these are available in the Dropbox folder, to which you are sent a link, or if you haven't got that, you can email me and ask for the link. My email address will appear at the very end of this video. So listen to this video on headphones and then record yourself singing or playing either on your smartphone or on a recording app of some sort on your computer. Most computers come with a fairly basic one, which is not too bad. Maybe by now some of you will have got yourselves a USB microphone or something a little bit better. We only want the audio, there's no need to create a video. If you are using a smartphone, don't hold it right against your mouth or your instrument, just to avoid distortion. Please try very hard to avoid getting any kind of background noise, such as traffic rumbling or ticking clocks or even watches. And don't put the microphone or smartphone that you're using anywhere near something else that makes a noise, such as a laptop or a computer with a fan. This is so that we can avoid getting a kind of hum or a hiss on the audio. And please make sure that the recordings only have you singing or you playing, and that the guide track itself is not audible on the recording. Now, this isn't a very long hymn, so if anything goes wrong early, you might want to start again. If anything goes wrong further into the hymn, you don't need to abandon it. Just keep going, stay in tempo, very important. Don't stop the recording and then pick up at the next verse, and then at the end sing or play the verse that went wrong and send that in as well. Now, I've got a particularly important request for everybody, a new one here, including those of you who are much more experienced. I would like you to try and reduce the amount of breath intake noise on your recording. It's something we do get a bit of, and it's particularly important on this hymn because there's no orchestral interlude between the verses, which sometimes can hide it. Everyone stops at the end of the verse, and then you all start again together, and we don't want to hear a loud hiss of breath intake in between each verse. The technique I would like to recommend you try to take noiseless breaths is this. Start breathing early, so start breathing a couple of beats before you come in so that you've got time to take the air in slowly, and then breathe with an open mouth. That's something I've read somewhere that soldiers do when they're hiding in cover and they don't want to reveal their location with the sound of their breathing. So open your mouth and breathe through an open mouth silently. If you all do that, it'll be fantastic. So, singers, let's get ready now to sing this super hymn. First of all, the band will play the verse through once, and then we all come straight in without missing a beat. So remember to start breathing at the beginning of the last bar played by the band. That'll be when your click track starts. There are 4 verses, all in 4-part harmony, and you'll be singing verse 3 unaccompanied. Now, this hymn is bright and brisk, so sing in that sort of style. It's lively, it's exciting, and we want to hear that coming through in the way you sing. There is no symphony between the verses on this one, so when you finish the verse, there is a bar of silence, and then we need a very prompt start to each new verse. So we bounce at the end of the last verse, bar of silence, and straight off to the next one, all together, nice and sharp. That's what we want. Now the dynamics are really that in the third line of each verse, we build from a slightly quieter start to a slightly louder finish. In the 4th verse, it's more dramatic. We're going to repeat the last 2 lines of that verse, and the first time through is going to start PP, nice and quiet, and build up to a sort of MF level, and then on the repeat we start MF and we build to fortissimo, full power, and then at the last section of that 4th line there is a massive dramatic pause that you'll see in the music. Absolutely silent in that time. If you can, avoid taking a breath so it's absolutely noiseless. And then we finish the line and we begin to slow down, and you'll hear the click track will double in frequency and then take you down to a nice, and take all of us down to a nice slow finish together. So you may want to watch the rest of this video and maybe do a little bit of practice, but when you're ready, come back to this point in the video, get ready to start recording and to sing or play Isaac Watts' wonderful hymn, Jesus Shall Reign Where'er the Sun Does His Successive Journeys Run. His kingdom stretch from shore to shore till moons shall wax and wane no more, to the wonderful tune Gibraltar by W.J. White of St. Albans.